Yeah, I just having fun with it as always. This is gonna be, I'm gonna try to focus. That's a broken piece. Broken brown. Is that brown or is that dark red? Whatever, it's busted. The bin of doom. Dark red, dark green, and sometimes dark brown. I have a tough time with because of my unvisual, unknown, unseen ish thing. I am colorblind, but most of you already know that. So that brings up my first point of the night. A very good friend of this channel pointed out that knowing that I'm colorblind, said that there is a piece on here that shouldn't be on here because I wouldn't know. I will say that sometimes, and it's very odd, my colorblindness and how it presents itself. It's specific shading. Like if I have trans yellow pieces in a bunch, and I'll be able to see a trans green in there, trans neon green, not trans green. Trans green's fine. No issues with trans green. But trans yellow and trans neon green, especially in the 1x1 round plates ish. So I get this thing out. See, mighty black light, and the black light does help me, and I'll show you that. I don't know if this is gonna work well. Let's do that one first. A little darker. I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna turn that off. Why does this? No, there we go. So, really quick. Well, you can see the paper over there. I don't have too many of these new sets, but that's kind of cool. I'm looking up there. Oh yeah, my good buddy Flea Nork would appreciate that. I think I mentioned that before. What else do I have that's really quick and easy to grab? The build from Bricks in the Six this year. So that seemed to light up a little bit. So that's, I guess that's that new yellow. What's this? Well, again, trans neon green. So actually that's whatever that other trans green is not trans neon green, but this guy is supposed to have let's see if I can show you this. Put this in front like that. So this guy is supposed to have this guy, and the other side is supposed to have another trans neon green, but it is trans yellow, which he could see in the video and I can't see it all. So let's turn the light back on. Put that over here. So this is a trans yellow 1x1. So I'm going to put that away in my nicely Jeff VW sorted method of sorting. That's trademarked method of sorting method. So that's in there. I'm going to get my trans neon green down. My entire bin of trans neon green and trans other green that's not original trans green, because I don't have enough for a warrant another bin for the other trans green type colors. But let's go like this again. Turn that off somehow and turn this on. So you got a black picture. Let's see. Just finding the switch in the dark. There we go. Look at that light up. This lights up the room. Trans neon green just lights up the room. Better than trans neon orange, and better than basically any other trans color or any kind of brick that whatever. So if you're gonna do a layout that's gonna use black light on it, trans neon green is the way to go. So, because that just lights up spectacularly. So anyway, I'm gonna find a trans neon green 1x1 in here. I'll put it on there. That would be ironic if I found another trans yellow in there, but it looks like trans neon green. And there we go. All fixed. Thank you. This is why I love the people who watch these videos, because they help me. because in the end, I need help. So So that's that. I'm going to plug that light back in to get better light down here. There we go. That light is just on a plug. It's not on a switch. It's just one of those homemade wiring jobbies I did years ago. It's a 2-foot LED fluorescent up there, straight down. And I just needed extra light because of like the room lights. They're pot lights in the ceiling that I put in years ago when this was a rec room. And when it was a full rec room, it was bright enough, but then I put a wall up here to separate the Lego area from the rest of the rec room. And so these little pot lights aren't cutting it. For my building table, I needed some bright light. And so I just happened to be at Valley Village again years ago. And it was a 2-foot fluorescent, LED fluorescent. And it's been up there shining straight down on the work area. And it's been fantastic. And then I found we were going to use these as under the counter lighting over here. It's those little things you buy at IKEA. You wave your hand underneath it and it turns the light on and off. Didn't work in the kitchen too well. So I said, instead of throwing them out, I'm just going to put them on my shelving units all the way up. And so my shelvings are all lit up. And it also illuminates the desk a little bit. So the problem is that you have to wave your hand under it to turn it off and on. Whatever. It was free to the Lego room because I bought it for the kitchen. We bought it for the kitchen. Then we went with something else that's actually hardwired into the light switch, which brings up a good tangent. Too many tangents. I'm trying to keep this down to a minimum. I do find that the more work that they put into making things lazier for us, the harder things are. And I'm going to give the textbook example is the power windows in vehicles. And it drives me nuts to this day. I am old enough, as most of us are, to remember vehicles that did not have power windows and you had to crank them down. And it was like you're cranking, and the window goes up and down. And you can set it to whatever spot, you go high, low, medium, whatever, little crack, all the way down, whatever. And then when the first power windows came out, you had to hold them till they went all the way down, or press the button until they go all the way back up, or you take your finger off, and it stops wherever you take your finger off the button. But for the last probably 20 years now, probably at least 20 years, power windows, you either touch it really, really quickly to get it to go down a little tiny bit, but if you leave it on for a second and take your finger off, the whole window all the way down to the bottom. And you try to stop it where you want it. And you're driving down the highway, and and you want to roll in the window like 3 inches, and you never get it there because it's either too far and you stop it, or it goes all the way down and it goes all the way back up, and you're like playing with that button and trying to get it to stop where you want it to stop, and it drives me crazy. And I'm thinking, what engineer in their right mind, because holding the button back in the day was 3 seconds, boom, done, and then 3 seconds back, done, or half a second, it stops as soon as you take your finger off of it. How lazy do we have to be as a society, as the engineers who developed this thing in the first place, that you just touch it and it'll go all the way down, and you touch it, it goes all the way back up. You can't stop it nicely where you want to stop it at all, and it drives me crazy. And I wanted to tell the guys to update their firmware in my vehicle, because I'm sure it's computer controlled, that the second I take my finger off it, the window stops, no matter what's going on. And there's a specific way of doing it, but either you're half a second too long or half a second too short, and it goes all the way down the bottom. Or it just, how lazy are we as a society that we couldn't keep our finger on a button for 3 seconds? It's just, it's the overthinking of the plumbing, and it's becoming hey, you kids, get off my grass. It's becoming a huge bane to me as a person. I'm having this problem with a vendor at work. Who will remain nameless, because the engineers, I'll talk about it really, really quickly, hopefully quickly. I've been working in IT for 35 years. Yes. Yes, I have. At least 35 years now. I did run the computer department at the high school. And after school and whatever, and modifying the networks and printers and all that stuff. So I've been taking care of stuff. And then the phone systems back in the day, the Bell relay systems and blah, 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 PBXs, gateways, blah, blah, blah. So I've actually sat down and figured out that I have worked with and programmed and set up and spooled out and rolled out 35 different phone systems over my career. 35 different phone systems. I worked on 35 different types of phone systems. Some just dabbled in it for a few weeks to help out here. Some I like at Laidlaw, like 15 years. The one we have now is a cloud-based phone system, which is great. And again, after 35 phone systems, I will say going to this phone system, which again will remain nameless, was literally the easiest rollover I've ever did. Ever. Migration from one phone system to another. Because phone system migrations are a huge, massive undertaking, especially when you have more than 300 or 1,000 lines and phones in there. But this was literally the easiest phone system I ever rolled out, by far. It's not even close how easy it was to do this. And it's virtual, so now we have our entire infrastructure across Canada and even in the US on one phone system, which is fantastic, which was hard to do on a physical PBX. The PBX is the box in your office, or the gateway in your office. This is virtual, so you plug in the handset into your internet and your phone. I can bring the phone home, the handset home, and then you have the soft consoles, whatever. It's very easy. The issue for me is because I am my age and I have been doing this for 35 years, is that the engineers did a fantastic job on 95% of it. The 5%, either they completely over-engineered it for no real reason, or they completely forgot about it. They said, we're not putting this feature into this phone system. And here's the example that I have that is my bane. Because again, engineers, I don't know if they're just 20-something and they don't know how old phone systems work. Let me just pick this up. They kick something over. But every actual phone system that I've worked with, and you have a desk phone, there's a button on that desk phone that says call forward. And that's, you walk away from your desk, you're going on vacation or whatever, and you want to call forward your extension to one of your teammates or somebody else in the office, or even to your cell phone, whatever you want to do. You press the button on the phone and you type in whatever code you want, whatever extension or phone number you want. Boom, call forward, boom, boom, and you walk away. That's been part of literally every phone system I've ever touched and every phone system I've ever seen that I didn't touch. They completely eliminated that from this phone system on the actual handset. They didn't want to add that feature to the handset. There's no way of doing that on the handset. They did it on the soft console, like you log into a web page or you log into the app on your cell phone or on your PC, and there you can put on your call forward. And I said, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me, because this is what happens. This is what invariably happens. The young kids are living on their cell phone, they're living on the apps, they're living on their desktops, they're living on their laptops, they're 100% online literally all the time, and that's fine for them. The people that are my age or older, which is all the executives, all the VPs, all the presidents, all the big guys, they go away from their desk. Oh, I'm going out for a business lunch, I'm going on vacation, whatever, and they're shut down their laptop, and they pack it in their bag, and they go to put the call forward on their phone, and then they realize they can't do it. And what invariably happens at least 5 times a week since we put this phone system in 3 years ago, I get a call or an email or a text or the executive assistant calls me up. Can you put the call forward on for this guy? So I have to log into the system and I have to turn on its call forward, which is not a big deal because I live on the phone system anyway, the manager page anyway, but because they did not put a call forward button on the phone itself. Because that's what these executives have been working in business for years, longer than I have, and they're just used to going to the phone, hitting a button, and put the call forward on. And yet, this company completely, and I called them on it. I said, "What do you? Oh, nobody uses that. Okay, nobody in your age uses that. Nobody in your age range uses that. But everybody above 40, everybody above 40 uses the call forward button in the business. Anyway, so." Overthinking the plumbing on things. I'm going through all this, whatever, and I'm going, holy moly, this is like really, like minutely, like completely overprogrammed. And okay, it's great, but why, like, over-engineered, and then they call for it, not even there. I'm going, did you guys consult the old PVXs, the old gateways, how they were configured, how they were set up for the easy stuff, the 101 stuff, the basket weaving stuff? Because it seems that they overlooked all that stuff. I think they are trying to eliminate the desk phone, which again, it's an idea to eliminate the desk phone, but you still need them. You still need desk phones. You need handsets, either in a room where it's not somebody's desk, like the laboratory or the infirmary or whatever, the locker room where people have, there's got to be phones because there's no web interface to call people on. And there's people like on call queues and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I'm not going to go on that tangent, but I just found that to be very, very odd that they overlooked the simplest things. But anyway, so on the next note, because I have a few things to talk about now that this guy's fixed, we also talked about these guys. Now I have 3 more. Now I built the Ice Planet. Oh man, the name's already escaping me. My whole rant before I forgot what the base of the Ice Planet. And there, I was gonna look this up. I don't believe this came in any other set except for the Ice Planet base. But something is niggling in my head that says this thing, because I know Trans Dark Blue came in like literally almost everything back in the day. Spirius and Futuron, and I think Unitron, and a whole bunch of them had these guys. And again, as you know, I have like a billion of these guys. This is all eBay's purchases, and buying monorail. When I was buying lots of monorail back in the day off of eBay, most of the monorail lots I were buying were parts and pieces of the 6990, which came with these, and I think there is at least 1 or 2 other sets in Futuron itself that use these, and I think I'm trying to remember if that laser defense, what was it called? I can't remember the base that opened up, kind of like the Blacktron message intercept base, but I think those came with these too, and the Unitron and whatever came with these, and these, and blah blah. So, but my friend was talking about, he got a Alpha Centauri base, and he didn't have 2 of these. Now, I already have an Alpha Centauri base built, and I have at least 3 aerial intruders. Are they called aerial intruders? I can't remember now. The Blacktron spaceship that has the little parked cars underneath these things. I have 2 or 3 of those built. So I have spares. And I told them, just send me a text. If you want one to finish your Alpha Centauri base, I got you covered. So I thought I'd mention that again. I do have a message intercept base right up there. And I have one in storage in a Ziploc. Yes, I do. And I have 2 more of these. So I might build a 3rd at some point, just because I can. And then a stack of whites, again, Futuron. These guys here, again, that's the Unitron Monorail 6991, which I believe right now I have 1 built in a Ziploc. I may have 2, but I don't remember building 2 lately. So I do have 1, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. But I think these stickers came in another set too. These stickered ones came in another set, but again, I don't remember, and I don't have my computer here to look it up. But I do have a slew of the regular panels, and I do. Also, my voice is going. I have 1 more of those. Dave, there you go. This is from my friend Dave. So, I liked it. I know I was a little harsh on it during my review because again, it's Futuron, but and I do like the Blacktron vehicle better, Blacktron 2 vehicle better than that. I have 3 of those. So I can build another message intercept base, and I have a spare. So again, if you need 1, I have a spare for my friends. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Just drop me a text. We'll work something out. So, and then my trans green. Now, Aquazone, I think these things came in Aquazone too. I know the big doors, the big blue doors, trans blue doors came in the Aquazone lab thing. I can't remember if these things, God, I can't remember now. I should look this stuff up before, because I was going to talk about it and I should have looked it up, but it doesn't matter. And of course, I still have, out of my massively huge collection, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these left. Now, one of them is busted. Which one's busted? This one, the back one, is busted. You can see it's missing the corner, and here's the corner. And I did that quite by accident. Well, not by accident. I dropped the big ship on the floor. C'est la vie. It is what it is. I did break my favorite big piece of Lego. But again, at peak, I had 33. I counted. At peak, I had 33. Now I have 12 and 7, so I have 21. So I sold, 12, which is happy for me. I sell them in lots of 4 because it's fun to make a cone, whatever. So some friends keep on asking, can I, buy a trans yellow? But I'm at that point now where I have 7, 6 and a broken one, that I will probably not, unless it's a really good and dear friend and I don't have any plans for them, I'm probably going to keep these 7 just for future expansion, because I do have an expansion showing up for the layout in my head. So it's like I have to get around to it. And for those of you who are my generation will remember the round to it little poster. That was always funny. Again, deep cut there, the round to it. So I do have future plans, and my problem is right now is I don't have I have lots of inspiration. Again, I do look at all the various groups on the internet, so my Facebooks and everything else like that, and they're just inspiring how much people are doing right now still with this hobby, and how much fun they're having excuse me, with this hobby. And so I keep on thinking I'm gonna get back into doing something, but right now I haven't felt like building too much except for reconstituting sets, which I don't mind. I like reconstituting sets. And that's going to lead right into the next video. So, because I didn't want to go off on too many tangents and make this one a stupid long video. So I also wanted to focus, except for my tangent with my phone system, with Lego and my responses to my videos, and to thank people who did ask questions and point out things, because it is appreciated. And because I am colorblind, and I never ever would have noticed that. It is what it is. It's one of those things that I've lived with for 56 years now, and I'm probably going to live with it the rest of my life. I don't see it change anytime soon. So that's it. That's all. I'm going to see you in about 5 seconds my time, but a day for you. I'm going to have another video up because I got something here that I want to show. It's not spectacularly awesome, but here's a preview. Yes, it's Valley Village. Just for Dave. So I'll talk to you guys in a second.